The Tale of the Enchanted Falcon. In the heart of ancient Arabia, there lived a wealthy merchant named Zahir. He was known throughout the land for his immense fortune, which he had earned through years of trading spices, silks, and precious jewels across distant lands. Yet, despite his wealth, Zahir was not content. His deepest desire was to possess something more unique than gold, something that would bring him everlasting joy. One evening, after a long day of trade, Zahir strolled through the bustling market of Baghdad. Among the vibrant stalls, he noticed an old peddler sitting in the corner, holding a cage with a magnificent falcon inside. The bird's eyes sparkled with an otherworldly glow, and its feathers shimmered like silver under the moonlight. Intrigued, Zahir approached the peddler and inquired about the falcon. "This is no ordinary bird, sir," the peddler said in a voice that seemed as ancient as the desert itself. "This falcon is enchanted, and whoever owns it will experience wonders beyond their wildest dreams. But beware, it comes with a curse." Zahir, driven by his desire to own something extraordinary, scoffed at the idea of a curse. He was a man of reason, and curses belonged in the world of fairy tales. "How much for the falcon?" he asked impatiently. The old peddler smiled, his wrinkled face folding like an ancient map. "It cannot be bought with gold. It must be earned with a promise. You must agree never to cage this bird. Let it fly free whenever it wishes, and it will always return to you with riches." Zahir agreed without hesitation. He was not concerned about letting the falcon fly, for he believed it would always return to him. And so the merchant took the falcon home and set it free, watching as it soared into the sky, disappearing into the horizon. Days turned into weeks, and Zahir began to grow anxious. The falcon had not returned, and he began to doubt the peddler's words. But just when he had given up hope one morning, the falcon returned, clutching a sparkling jewel in its talons. Zahir was overjoyed. The bird dropped the jewel at his feet and flew off again, leaving Zahir eager for its next return. Over the next few months, the falcon returned with treasures from faraway lands, gold coins, rare pearls, and priceless gemstones. Zahir's wealth multiplied, and his fame spread across Arabia. People marveled at the wonders the falcon brought him, and Zahir felt he had finally found the joy he had been searching for. But as the falcon continued to bring him riches, Zahir's greed began to grow. He no longer appreciated the beauty of the bird or the treasures it brought him. Instead, he became obsessed with the idea of owning the falcon forever. He wanted to keep it by his side to ensure that the flow of riches never stopped. One evening, as the falcon returned with a ruby the size of an egg, Zahir made a fateful decision. He ordered his servants to build a golden cage adorned with precious gems. When the falcon flew down to deliver its treasure, Zahir quickly placed the bird inside the cage, believing he had outwitted the curse. For a moment, everything seemed perfect. The falcon looked at Zahir with its piercing eyes, and the merchant smiled, certain that his fortune would now be eternal. But as the night fell, a strange wind swept through Zahir's palace. The sky darkened and the ground beneath him began to shake. Zahir rushed to the falcon's cage, only to find the bird lying motionless inside. In an instant, all the treasures the falcon had brought him began to crumble into dust. His palace, once filled with gold and jewels, was reduced to rubble, and Zahir stood amidst the ruins, penniless and alone. The old peddler's words echoed in his mind. It must be earned with a promise. The falcon, now free of its mortal form, transformed into a brilliant beam of light and soared into the sky, never to return. Zahir, realizing his folly too late, was left with nothing but the memory of his greed and the price he had paid for breaking his promise. From that day on, Zahir wandered the streets of Baghdad, warning others of the dangers of greed and the importance of keeping one's word. And so his tale became one of the many stories whispered across Arabia, another lesson in the timeless wisdom of the Arabian Nights.